everyone, I hope you all are doing very well, and today we are going to see a new lesson. I know you all are eagerly waiting for the new session. So shall we start? Human interactions often reveal the complexities of life, showcasing both the blessings we enjoy and the challenges others endure. Conversations as a form of expression reflect our thoughts, beliefs, and observations, offering insights into societal dynamics and human behavior. Today, we are going to see a new lesson titled Ayal Etra Nallavananu. That means, how good is that man? Which serves a poignant example presenting a narrative that juxtaposes gratitude and empathy with the harsh realities of iniquity. It captures the perspectives of two individuals, Sibi and Jishnu, as they discuss fortune, relationships, and the contrasting lives of their neighbors. Through their conversation, we explore the themes of appreciation, fairness, and the moral obligation to acknowledge and address the struggles of others. So, this dialogue offers a microcosm of larger societal issues, prompting us to reflect on our own attitudes toward privilege and adversity. So, first we will see the basic vocabulary of this dialogues. So, let's see. First one, Ayal means that man. Nallavan means good person, male. Nallaval, good person, represents female. Bhagyavan, meaning lucky person. Nyan, you are familiar with it, meaning I. Ni means you. Matram, that means only. Alle, alle, it gives a meaning of isn't it or aren't you. It's a question tag. Ade, meaning exactly or yes. Kudade, that is and also or moreover. Bharya, meaning wife. Bhagyavadi, that means a lucky woman. Pakshe, that is but. Ayalkar, meaning neighbors. Sthiti, that means situation or condition. Dayaniyamaya, that is miserable or pathetic. Kulappam, meaning problem or trouble. Udamastan means owner or landlord. Bhayangaran, meaning terrible person. Pishukka, that is stingy. Prashnam means trouble. Kusruti, meaning mischief. Satyam, that means truth. Dushtan, it means wicked person. Vadaga means rent. Vadagakaran, that means tenant. Valare, it means very. So now we will see the whole conversation and later I will explain each sentences for your better understanding. So let's see our dialogue. Ayal etra nallavananu. How good is that man? So it is the title of this conversation. Now we will start our conversation. Sibi, nee etra bhagyavananu. That means how lucky is that man? Jishnu, ഞാൻ മാത്രമോ നീയും ഭാഗ്യവാനല്ലേ. ജിഷ്ണു, just me, aren't you lucky too? സിബി, അതെങ്ങനെ? How is that? ജിഷ്ണു, അതോ നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടുടമസ്ഥൻ നല്ലവനല്ലേ. Well, isn't our landlord a good person? സിബി, ശരിയാ. That's true. ജിഷ്ണു, അതെ, നമ്മൾ എത്ര ഭാഗ്യവാന്മാരാണ്. കൂടാതെ നമ്മുടെ ഭാര്യമാരും എത്ര ഭാഗ്യവതികളാണ്. Exactly, we are so fortunate and our wives are also very lucky. സിബി, പക്ഷേ അയൽക്കാരുടെ സ്ഥിതിയോ എത്ര ദയനീയമാണത്. അത്ര ഭാഗ്യം അവർക്കില്ലല്ലോ. But what about our neighbors? how miserable is their situation. They don't have the same luck. ജിഷ്ണു, എന്താ കുഴപ്പം സിബി? വാട്ട്സ് റോങ് സിബി? സിബി, അവരുടെ വീട്ടുടമസ്ഥൻ ഒരു ഭയങ്കരനാണ്. അയാളുടെ ഭാര്യയും ഒട്ടും നല്ലവളല്ല. അവൾ ഒരു ഭയങ്കരിയും മഹാപിശുക്കിയുമാണ്. അവരുടെ കുട്ടികളും കുസൃതികളാണ്. Their house owner is a terrible person. His wife isn't good either. She's mean and extremely stingy. Their children are mischievous. ജിഷ്ണു, എന്തൊരു കഷ്ടമാണ്. വാട്ട് എ ടഫ് സിറ്റുവേഷൻ. സിബി, സത്യം തന്നെയാ. ഈ വീട്ടുടമസ്ഥൻ ഒരു പ്രശ്നം തന്നെയാണ്. ചില ആളുകൾ ദുഷ്ടന്മാരും ഭയങ്കരന്മാരുമാണ്. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ ട്രൂത്ത്. Their house owners are a real problem. Some people are just wicked and scary. ജിഷ്ണു, ഈ ലോകത്തിൽ എല്ലാവരും നല്ലവരും വലിയവരുമാണെന്നാണോ നിന്റെ വിചാരം? Do you think everyone in this world is good and great? സിബി, അങ്ങനെയൊന്നുമല്ല എൻ്റെ ധാരണ. പക്ഷേ അവരുടെ ഉടമസ്ഥൻ്റെ സ്വഭാവം വളരെ ചീത്തയാണ്. മാസം തോറും വാടക കൂട്ടലാണ് അയാളുടെ സൂത്രം. അവർ അയാളുടെ 10ാമത്തെ വാടകക്കാരാണത്രേ. That's not what I believe. But their house owner's behavior is terrible. Every month he raises their rent. I hear they are his 10th tenants. So now we will see the explanations. I know in this lesson you would see many unfamiliar words and different usages through some additions to the base forms. So let's see what it is. The phrase "Nee etra bhagyavanana" translate to "How lucky are you" in English. So it is a common way to express surprise or admiration toward someone's fortunate circumstances. In this sentence, "Nee" meaning you and "etra" means how much or how many. Bhagyavan refers to male who is lucky or fortunate. So the word "ana" used to indicate the subject state or condition. So this sentence is often used in informal conversations to remark on someone's favorable situation, implying that the person has experienced or is experiencing good fortune. So it could be a question seeking validation, praise, or simply expressing amazement at someone's luck. Then the dialogue "Jishnu, njan matramo, neeyum bhagyavanalle" translate to "Just me, aren't you lucky too" in English. So this exchange combines rhetorical questions and emphasize, making it a conversational and expressive statement. So we can see its components. Jishnu is a speaker's name indicating the person initiating the dialogue. Njan means I in English. Matramo, it's a compound word where matra means only and o adds a rhetorical question tone translating to just me or only me. Ni meaning you. Bhagyavanale. Here Bhagyavan means lucky person. Alle is a question tag marker equivalent to isn't it or aren't you in English. So it adds a conversational and confirming tone. Then comes the conjunction also or to, which emphasizes inclusion. Then comes another dialogue, Sibi. Adingine. How is that? Demonstrate a simple yet essential conversational structure in both Malayalam and English. In Malayalam, this word or the phrase "adi engine" directly translate to "how is that" and is used to inquire about the manner, method or quality of something. The word "other" refers to that, while "engine" means how. This question structure is commonly used in everyday conversations to seek clarification or express curiosity. By learning such sentences, you can develop ability to form questions in Malayalam and understand their equivalents in English, which enhancing the bilingual communication skill. Then comes the next dialogue, ജിഷ്ണു, അതെ നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടുടമസ്ഥൻ നല്ലവനല്ലേ? Well, isn't our house owner a good person? Which highlights a conversational structure in Malayalam that incorporates both affirmation and questioning. The word ade, that means well in English, often used to express agreement or contemplation, where namude means our and veetudamastan means house owner. The question ends with nallavanalle is a tag question implying isn't he good. So this structure is used to seek confirmation while assuming the listener's agreement. So such tag questions are common in Malayalam to engage the listener and create a conversational flow. So by understanding the nuances of this dialogue, so you can learn how to incorporate politeness, inquiry and confirmation in Malayalam conversation, enriching the language skills. Then the other dialogue, Sibi, Sheria, means that's true. It reflects a concise and affirming conversational response in Malayalam. The word Sheria is a colloquial way of saying that's true or correct, derived from Sheri, combined with a, which is also known as a copula, implying affirmation. So this short response is frequently used in conversations to agree with a statement showing acknowledgement or validation of what was said earlier. Such affirmations are integral to natural dialogues or colloquial as they maintain a flow and express engagement in the discussion. So understanding expressions like Sharia equips learners with the tools to practice in conversations effectively, as the affirmations are vital in both informal and formal context. Following the dialogue, the next is ജിഷ്ണു, അതെ നമ്മൾ എത്ര ഭാഗ്യവാന്മാരാണ്, കൂടാതെ നമ്മുടെ ഭാര്യമാരും എത്ര ഭാഗ്യവതികളാണ്. That means exactly, we are so fortunate and our wives are also very lucky. This showcases the use of emphasis in Malayalam conversation. The word ade is equivalent to exactly in English, that expressing wholehearted agreement. The phrase nammal etra bhagyavanmarana translate to we are so fortunate, with nammal meaning we, bhagyavanmarana meaning fortunate ones, and etra adding emphasis to the level of fortune. Then the second sentence introduces kudade, which means and also, linking the thought about their wives being equally fortunate. So the term bharyamar refers to wives, while bhagyavadigal is the feminine form of fortunate. So this dialogue not only highlights positive expressions but also demonstrate how Malayalam incorporates gender-specific language forms. Then comes the other dialogue, Sibi. പക്ഷേ അയൽക്കാരുടെ സ്ഥിതിയോ എത്ര ദയനീയമാണത്, അത്ര ഭാഗ്യം അവർക്കില്ലല്ലോ. But what about our neighbors? How miserable is their situation? They don't have the same luck, which highlights a shift in tone to express concern and empathy in Malayalam. Pakshe translate to but, signaling contrast or a shift in focus. So the phrase ayalkarude sthidiyo means what about our neighbor's situation, with ayalkarude refers to neighbors and sthidi meaning situation. The rhetorical question etra dayaniyamanadu translate to how miserable is that, using dayaniyamanadu to emphasize compassion. So the final statement atra bhagyam avarkillallo, meaning they don't have the same luck, that contrasts their misfortunate with the speaker's earlier acknowledgement of good fortune using atra, so much, and avarkillallo, they don't have, for emphasis. O, which is at the end of avarkillallo, is giving an idea of both the speaker and receivers are aware of. This dialogue teaches you people to express empathy, contra situations, and use rhetorical question effectively in Malayalam, adding depth and emotions to conversations. Then the other dialogue, Jishnu, Enda Kolpam Sibi, What's Wrong Sibi, demonstrates a common way of expressing concern in Malayalam. The phrase Enda translates to what, derived from Endu, combined with the copula a, which adds a conversational tone. The word kulappam means wrong or trouble, making the entire phrase a direct or yet empathetic question to inquire about an issue. So adding CB at the end personalizes the question, addressing the concern directly to the individual. So this type of expression is widely used in Malayalam to initiate a discussion about someone's problem or distress. So it helps learners understand how to pose questions that show care and concern, fostering effective communication in personal or informal context. Following that, the next dialogue, Sibi. അവരുടെ വീട്ടുടമസ്ഥൻ ഒരു ഭയങ്കരനാണ്. അയാളുടെ ഭാര്യയും ഒട്ടും നല്ലവളല്ല. അവൾ ഒരു ഭയങ്കരിയും മഹാപിശുക്കിയുമാണ്. അവരുടെ കുട്ടികൾ കുസൃതികളാണ്. Their house owner is a terrible person. His wife isn't good either. She is mean and extremely stingy. Their children are mischievous. Here it portrays a descriptive conversation with negative observations about another family. So the sentence, അവരുടെ വീട്ടുടമസ്ഥൻ ഒരു ഭയങ്കരനാണ്, introduces the house owner as a terrible person, where അവരുടെ means their, വീട്ടുടമസ്ഥൻ means house owner, and ഭയങ്കരനാണ് conveys terrible. The second sentence, അയാളുടെ ഭാര്യയും ഒട്ടും നല്ലവളല്ല, adds that the house owner's wife is not good either, using ഒട്ടും meaning not at all for emphasize. The following sentence, അവൾ ഒരു ഭയങ്കരിയും മഹാപിശുക്കിയുമാണ്, which intensifies the critic labeling her as a mean, that means ഭയങ്കരി, and extremely stingy, that is മഹാപിശുക്കി. So the final remark, അവരുടെ കുട്ടികളും കുസൃതികളാണ്, shift the focus to their children, describing them as mischievous. So these kind of words is useful for your people to understand sentence structure, descriptive language, and cultural nuances in communication. Then the other dialogue, Jishnu, എന്തൊരു കഷ്ടമാണ്, what a tough situation. It is an empathetic expression commonly used in Malayalam to acknowledge hardship or difficulty. The word enduru is an emphatic phrase meaning what a, often used to highlight the intensity of a situation. The term kashtamana translate to is tough or is difficult, derived from kashtam, and ana means is. Together the phrase conveys a strong sense of sympathy or dismay. So this kind of expression is versatile in conversations and can be used to react to situations involving misfortunate challenges or negative experiences. So for learners like your people, this dialogue offers insight into how Malayalam employs emotive expression to connect with others and respond to difficult circumstances effectively. Then followed by the dialogue, then comes Sibi. സത്യം തന്നെയാ, ഈ വീട്ടുടമസ്ഥർ ഒരു പ്രശ്നം തന്നെയാണ്. ചില ആളുകൾ ദുഷ്ടന്മാരും ഭയങ്കരന്മാരുമാണ്. It's the truth, their house owners are a real problem. Some people are just wicked and scary. That expresses strong disapproval of a certain individuals and their behavior. The phrase Satyam Tannaya translate to it's the truth with Satyam means truth and Tanne is used for emphasize, reinforcing the honesty of the statement. In the second sentence, the വീട്ട് ഉടമസ്ഥർ ഒരു പ്രശ്നം തന്നെയാണ്. Here Sibi describes the house owner as a real problem. Using E means this and വീട്ടുടമസ്ഥർ means house owners, which point out to the specific individuals causes trouble. And prashnam to describe their negative impact. The final sentence, ചില ആളുകൾ ദുഷ്ടന്മാരും ഭയങ്കരന്മാരുമാണ്, conveys the idea that some people are inherently wicked, that means dushtanmar, and scary, bhayankaranmaru. So this dialogue offers learners examples of how to express discontent, critic individuals, and use descriptive language in a culturally appropriate way. So such phrases are very useful for understanding both negative evaluations and emphasizes on certain characteristics in conversational Malayalam. The next dialogue, Jishnu. ഈ ലോകത്തിൽ എല്ലാവരും നല്ലവരും വലിയവരുമാണെന്നാണോ നിന്റെ വിചാരം? Do you think everyone in this world is good and great? This presents a reflective question that challenges the listener's perspective. So the phrase "ee logathil" translate to "in this world," setting the context of a broader inquiry. So the question "ellavarum" means everyone, and "nallavarum veliyavarum" refers to good and great. So the sentence ends with "aanannano ninte vicharam," which translate to "do you think" or "is that your opinion," where vicharam refers to opinion or thought. So this dialogue is structured to question an idealistic view and encourage deeper reflection. So this dialogue also teaches learners how to pose questions that challenge assumptions, introduce different viewpoints and express curiosity. Then the dialogue Sibi. അങ്ങനെയൊന്നുമല്ല എൻ്റെ ധാരണ, പക്ഷേ അവരുടെ ഉടമസ്ഥൻ്റെ സ്വഭാവം വളരെ ചീത്തയാണ്. മാസം തോറും വാടക കൂട്ടലാണ് അയാളുടെ സൂത്രം. അവർ അയാളുടെ 10ാമത്തെ വാടകക്കാരാണത്രേ. That's not what I believe, but their house owner's behavior is terrible. Every month he raises the rent. I hear they are his 10th tenants, which highlights disagreement, criticism, and a detailed explanation of a problematic situation. And the words "anganeyonnumalla ende dharana," which translate to "that's not what I believe," where "anganeyonnum" meaning anything like that expresses a denial or a contradiction of the previous statement. So the following statement, പക്ഷേ അവരുടെ ഉടമസ്ഥൻ്റെ സ്വഭാവം വളരെ ചീത്തയാണ്, which expresses strong disapproval with ഉടമസ്ഥൻ meaning house owner and സ്വഭാവം meaning behavior or character. And then cheetah, it is a form of adjective meaning terrible, conveys a very negative view of the house owner's personality. So in the next part, we can see മാസം തോറും വാടക കൂട്ടലാണ് അയാളുടെ സൂത്രം. Here Sibi criticizes the house owner's practice of raising the rent every month using vaadaga, that means rent, and kootal meaning increase, implying an exploitative behavior of that house owner. So in the last sentence, അവർ അയാളുടെ 10ാമത്തെ വാടകക്കാരാണത്രേ, adds that they are his 10th tenants, revealing that the house owner has a history of frequently changing tenants, possibly due to his actions. So this dialogue is a rich example of expressing disagreement, describing unethical behavior, and providing background information in Malayalam conversation. So I believe that you got the context here. So in this lesson, we have explored the dialogue "ayal etra nallavanana" means how good is that man, to understand how Malayalam conversation structures and convey emotions, social observation, and personal reflections. So through the conversation between Sibi and Jishnu, we have dwelt into themes of fortune, empathy, and the contrasting lives of individuals. So the vocabulary and sentence structures we have studied here reveal how language can both reflect and shape our perception of the world around us, emphasizing the importance of recognizing both privilege and hardship. So by examining the key phrases and expressions, we have seen how Malayalam employs rhetorical questions, empathy, affirmation and contrast to the build engaging and meaningful dialogues. So whether it is expressing admiration, concern or a shift in a perspective, understanding these conversational tools is a crucial for effective communication in any language. This lesson not only helps us to build conversational skills but also encourages us to reflect on the deeper societal issues at play in everyday interaction. So as a learners of Malayalam, it is essential to you to recognize how language mirrors to the complexities of human life, guiding us to be more aware, compassionate and thoughtful in our interactions. Now it's your turn to practice the words further. And if you find difficulty in any words and context and its meaning as well as its usage, we will discuss in our next class. Thank you all. Good day.